And that's how I look at it. What makes him get more respect than me? You my next door neighbor, you know what I tell him? You got yours from your family. I got mine from the ground up, from hard work and dedication.
Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy. He's just a savant. He's just something special. No question about it. But I got to look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world.
Floyd's way is safe. Not in a punk, but it's like the safe way, like nothing ain't gonna go wrong. But that's how he fight. That's his characteristic.
Floyd Mayweather reacted angrily after Stephen A. Smith downplayed his legacy and suggested that Terrence Crawford could defeat him. Smith argued that Mayweather is not the greatest fighter ever, claiming that Sugar Ray Leonard was far superior. He also contended that Floyd's most impressive victories came at lightweight, while he struggled to dominate in higher weight classes. Additionally, Smith dismissed Mayweather's win over Canelo as unimpressive, a remark that sparked outrage from Floyd, who refused to let such criticism go unchallenged.
It's who you do it against.
Your level of competition. Is it possible that he's so far beyond his level of competition that he made it look easy?
Well, I think he did as a lightweight. When he went up to the welterweight division, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
taking out Canelo the way he took out.
Well, he just gave him a boxing lesson, but Canelo was 22 years old. See, I remember
That's an excuse, though. I don't like this, like he's 22, he's too young.
I will tell you this. Well, you know, you do have to take that into consideration.
The guy had 100 fights.
Well, let me explain. You have to take that into consideration when boxing is the issue. Now, if he got knocked on his ass, that's different. But when he simply got schooled, when you swinging a punch and Floyd is tapping you on your shoulder saying, I'm behind you, that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a skill, like, you know,
But we could credit Floyd with that.
Of course, I am crediting. I'm saying he's a brilliant boxer. You know, Floyd knew how to move before you even threw the damn punch. You see what I'm saying? You got to be a veteran to know how to overcome that. You can't put a novice into the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather. You understand? He's going to school you. What I'm saying to you is that if you want to make an argument on Floyd Money Mayweather's half, which I'm not summarily dismissing, I would tell you it's this. Floyd Money Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Dawood Bey offered a thoughtful analysis comparing Floyd Mayweather and Terrence Crawford in the wake of Crawford's performance against Canelo Alvarez. He admitted that, as a fan, he leaned slightly toward Crawford in a hypothetical matchup, but emphasized that the comparison requires balance. Crawford's victory over Canelo was an extraordinary achievement, and many were quick to claim it surpassed anything Mayweather had done. Bey cautioned against that view, reminding listeners that Floyd also dominated Canelo, doing so at a time when Canelo was still developing as a fighter. He stressed that diminishing Mayweather's greatness to elevate Crawford is inaccurate, as both fighters brought something unique to the sport. In Bey's view, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Crawford deserves full credit for his commanding performance, but Mayweather's showing against Canelo was equally historic and should not be overlooked.
Goes about it a little bit better than Floyd in this sense. Floyd will, like, when Floyd fought Canelo, he was standing right there. He wasn't running and all of that. He wasn't doing all of the stuff that they say, oh, runner, Mayweather's a runner. He wasn't doing that versus Canelo. He was right there. And I can't even really remember Canelo catching him like that, like with nothing. With Bud, I could remember Canelo catching Bud a couple times, but Bud, like, gave him the, all right, put your foot out. What's up? Boxing turn, boxing turn, boxing turn. Like, and was like really standing there and like giving it to him with another type of energy. It was, the energy is more so like, all right, what's up? Like, you can't beat me. Floyd energy be like, bop, bop, I'm better than you. You see what I'm saying? They don't really be respecting that all the time. They'll acknowledge it like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, he hard to catch. But they be like, nah, you didn't beat me up. Bud go about his fights in a way where as though the Mexican fan base gotta be like, I ain't gonna lie, Canelo, he hollered at you. Like, he came at you too. He didn't just be better than you. He was better, and then he was like, all right, I'm gonna come at you. And I think they really respect that. Shit, I respect it. I don't think it's not, I think the less you get hit, the better. I'm always gonna take it that way. So, you know what I'm saying? As a boxing fan, the kind of boxing fan that I am, I would have linked towards Floyd's performance, but Bud's performance was like, if I'm a casual fan, I'd rather watch the way Bud do it.
Trainer Bussy Ennis spoke passionately about Terence Crawford's standing in the sport, pushing back against critics who question his achievements. He said Crawford has repeatedly proven that he is one of the greatest fighters of his era, highlighting his willingness to take risks against any opponent and noting that he has never shied away from dangerous fights. In Ennis's view, Crawford thrives when facing risk, a trait that separates him from many of his contemporaries. By constantly challenging himself against the best competition, Crawford has carved out a place among boxing's elite. Ennis stressed that people should stop trying to diminish Crawford's accomplishments and instead recognize that very few fighters in history have been as versatile, daring, and consistently successful as he has.
He'll tell you that and be able to sit down a little bit more. And what I tell you, Chance can fight and he can box. And he can fight, he'll fight this side. He take chances, man. You know what I mean? And that's how you be great, man. And he one of the greatest out there now. I think he's great. I think he's the best out there right now in that division. You know what I mean?
What's left?
For Terence?
Yeah.
If I was Terence, I would retire. That's what I would do. He did everything, man. He's done everything, man. You know what I mean? He don't have any titles, he don't have all that stuff, you know what I mean? I think I'll go off one in the sunset, man. You know what I mean? He don't need no more money. You know what I mean?
Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomack McIntyre, believes his fighter still has a few major moments left in his career. According to Bomack, Crawford could take on 2 or 3 more fights before seriously considering retirement. He also discussed the possibility of Crawford moving up to 160 pounds, explaining that such a move would be less about chasing titles and more about further cementing a legacy that is already worthy of the Hall of Fame. Bomack emphasized that Crawford has already secured his place in history through groundbreaking victories and by becoming undisputed in multiple weight classes. Still, the prospect of adding championships in higher divisions excites both the team and the fans. He made it clear that Crawford is no longer seeking validation, but rather solidifying his status among the all-time greats by pursuing opportunities that only true legends dare to attempt.
The second time. They can't take it away from him either.
Does this one mean more to you than the other ones?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity as a team to go into the Hall of Fame. Instead of a fighter going in there, instead of a coach going in there, it gives us a better chance to go in there as a team.
Well, congrats on that. I know that means a lot to you and the team.
Definitely that.
I asked Bud this after the fight 2 weeks ago. Would he consider this his signature win? He said, yeah, one of them. Do you think that was his signature win of his career?
Well, the last fight?
Yeah, the Canelo one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the underdog. Everybody thought that, he was going to get beat.
What's up?
He was going to get beat. Surprising.
So what's next for Bud? What do you want to see him do?
I just want to see him, spend time with his family because, training for a fight, you be gone a long time. You're going away from your family. And it could take a toll on you after a while. So,
as his trainer, do you feel like you should just sail off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
you know what? He made it look so easy. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2-3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Timothy Bradley shared heartfelt thoughts on Terence Crawford's influence, explaining that many young fighters struggle with self-doubt, especially when critics question their progress. Crawford, however, demonstrated what perseverance and determination can achieve. Despite the skepticism he faced early in his career, he consistently proved his doubters wrong through his performances in the ring. Bradley emphasized that by accomplishing what many believed was impossible, becoming a multi-time undisputed champion across different divisions, Crawford has become a powerful source of inspiration for the next generation. To Bradley, Crawford represents more than just victories. He embodies belief, courage, and the proof that hard work can overcome any criticism, making him not only a champion, but also a role model for young fighters who refuse to give up.
The man that you have become. You're a true inspiration to the youth, man. Anybody that's troubled, any troubled kid out there, man, they can look at you and say, hey, man, I got a fighting chance to get myself out the situation. All I got to do is make that choice. That's what you did, Crawford. You made that choice, man. You made that choice to change, bruh. You know, you saw it going down, man, years ago, man, in 2008, man, when that bullet came through that window, you knew you had to do something or you'll end up 6 feet under, bruh. You know, so that courage that you had, man, and that will that you had and that mindset to change, man, and the gym, you know, grooming you and turning you into a man, because that's what boxing does. See, people don't understand, man, that boxing is more than just throwing punches. You know, boxing teaches you discipline. You know, it teaches you love for people, love for others, man. You know, working together. You know, you're there constantly every single day, man. You know, spending time there perfecting a craft, man. Perfecting yourself, understanding yourself, learning more about yourself each and every single day. You push it inside the gym. You know, boxing is more than just throwing punches, man.
Floyd Mayweather's journey transcended boxing itself. As Oladipo explained, Mayweather deliberately crafted two distinct personas that captured the public's imagination. Early in his career, Pretty Boy Floyd was a fearless risk-taker known for delivering highlight reel knockouts, while later Money Mayweather emerged as the ultimate businessman who mastered defensive boxing and turned every fight into a global event. His pay-per-view dominance and unmatched self-promotion made him a phenomenon beyond the sport. Oladipo credited Floyd's genius not only inside the ring, but also outside of it, noting that he created a business model modern boxers still strive to emulate. By blending technical mastery with entertainment and marketing brilliance, Mayweather became more than just a fighter. He became a cultural icon and the architect of boxing's modern economic era.
Sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm going to work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm going to work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right?
Despite Terence Crawford's stunning victory over Canelo Alvarez, debate has erupted about what he should do next. Some insiders, including members of his own team, have suggested that he consider retiring immediately to protect his legacy, arguing that he has already achieved greatness and has nothing left to prove. Others within the boxing world remain unconvinced and continue to downplay his win, claiming he should step aside before his reputation has a chance to fade. This divide has created tension, as many believe Crawford still has plenty left to offer, pointing to recent performances that show no signs of decline. Fans, in particular, want to see him pursue more high-profile fights. While retirement remains an option, Crawford's status as one of the sport's all-time greats is secure, and whether he continues fighting or walks away now, his accomplishments can never be erased.
The fact that Terence Crawford did what he did against Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford made himself the face of boxing, and he did it. He made it look easy. He made the Errol Spence fight look easy. That was supposed to be the toughest test of his career. I thought it was. The whole world thought it was. It was the easiest fight he had at welterweight. I thought, but I've been saying for years that he's gonna easily beat Canelo Alvarez, and he did. But many people expected Canelo to knock him out. That wasn't the case. With that said, now people are trying to throw. He's 38. Tomorrow, Terence Crawford will be 38 years old. He's a 5-division champion. If he wants to stick around, like Terrence Crawford stated, okay, Terrence Crawford stated, if I do stick around, I'm not dropping down no further than 160 pounds. If he stays in boxing, I say he have 2 more fights. Fight Janibek, who's the unified champion. Hopefully Carl Sadamas and Lara fight and unify the belts. 2 fights at 160, pad the stats, become a 6-division champion and a 4-division undisputed champion. Cool. Other than that, Terrence Crawford needs to retire.
Trainer Robert Garcia weighed in on the Mayweather versus Crawford debate by reminding fans that although Mayweather's record and overall success are unmatched, he never became an undisputed champion, an achievement both Crawford and Manny Pacquiao accomplished. Garcia acknowledged that this makes Crawford's resume historically significant. However, when comparing the 2 fighters directly, he still leaned toward Mayweather. Garcia explained that Mayweather's defense, timing, and ring intelligence would likely overwhelm even a fighter as skilled as Crawford, noting that Floyd's ability to completely neutralize opponents made him a nightmare matchup. While he respects Crawford's accomplishments, Garcia believes Mayweather's mastery of fundamentals and ring strategy ultimately places him above nearly everyone, including today's top champions.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions undisputed, is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? And not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more than Pacquiao was 8 divisions, so we have to, we could argue there because Pacquiao was, fuck, 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5-division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
Greg Hackett added another layer to the discussion by comparing Floyd Mayweather's performance against Canelo Alvarez with Terrence Crawford's. He argued that when Floyd faced Canelo, he was already a complete fighter, displaying unmatched polish, composure, and flawless execution over all 12 rounds. While Hackett acknowledged that Crawford's style is more aggressive and built on adaptability, he felt it lacks the defensive perfection and total ring control that defined Mayweather's dominance. Although he respects Crawford's accomplishments, Hackett stressed that Mayweather operated on a different level, noting that Crawford's explosiveness is impressive, but Floyd's calculated brilliance against Canelo came closer to perfection. Stephen A. Smith, however, praised Crawford's win over Canelo as one of the most entertaining performances in recent years. He highlighted that Crawford was the smaller fighter moving up against a bigger, stronger opponent, yet still made the bout look one-sided. Smith applauded Crawford for combining elite skill with excitement, saying his performance proved he is not only a great champion, but also an entertainer capable of delivering memorable moments and helping carry the sport forward.
But the biggest props of the night goes to Terrence Crawford, who did not disappoint. He was supposed to be the smaller man. He was supposed to be the weaker man. He was supposed to be the man that was going to spend the entire night on his bicycle, running for his damn life because Saul Canelo Alvarez was coming his way. That is not what happened. What happened instead, ladies and gentlemen, was a masterclass in boxing by Terrence Crawford. Now, to me, the fight, some people were saying it was a severely lopsided and stuff like that. I'm not going for that. I'm not feeling that at all. It wasn't like that at all.
Veteran journalist Dan Raphael took a long-term view of Terrence Crawford's career, arguing that Crawford no longer needs to fight to validate his place in boxing history. His record already speaks for itself, with undisputed championships in multiple divisions, wins over elite opponents, and a reputation for dominance. Raphael explained that once fighters reach this level, the focus should shift from proving themselves to protecting their legacy. In his view, chasing unnecessary fights now could risk damaging what Crawford has already built. Instead, he believes Crawford should embrace the recognition he has earned as one of the sport's greatest achievers, noting that his resume, filled with historic milestones, is more than enough to secure his legacy, whether he continues fighting or chooses to step away now.
He stood in the pocket, like he's not moving anywhere from him. He's using his head moving, he's not being stupid. but he's not necessarily moving away from Canelo. Like you said, he's walking the, you know, quote unquote bigger man down and forcing the action rather than going off, you know, reacting to Canelo's attacks. So I think it was such an impressive display. But it sort of begs the question now, when you've a 3-time undisputed champion, and I know money's important, financials, we always talk about that, his legacy is intact regardless. We'll start with Terence. What does a Terence Crawford do now? Like, what's the next thing that he does? Because you look around and go, is the only way that he really gets that, maybe that ultimate chance, if he goes up again? And do you say, you know, what do you do?
I don't quite. Yeah, I mean, you know, he was asked those questions at the press conference. He made 2 things clear. One, he's not going back to 154, and I say that because some people suggested about possibly pursuing a fight with Ennis, who has his debut in the weight class coming up.
Yeah.
That's probably unlikely. He's not going to go back down to weight. And I mean, no disrespect to Ennis, but Ennis is a guy that's known within the diehards of boxing. He's not in any way known beyond the boundaries of the hardcore boxing fans. So I don't know if that makes sense for a lot of different reasons for him. Not to say I wouldn't, as a boxing fan, enjoy watching the fight. So, but I don't think he's going back to 154. He was asked about like a Benavides at 175, and he acknowledged like that guy is really big. I mean, that's maybe a bridge too far. He already went up to 2 weight classes to fight Canelo at 68. So it feels to me like he could either stay at 168 and defend this championship and look to the same types of names that were being thrown around as the types of guys that would have been in the mix for Canelo had he won the fight.
That brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more. Until next time.